Let's continue with the transfer talk and the transfer rumours as well, Jules. Karim Benzema wanting out of Saudi Arabia. Where are his possible landing spots? What are his options?
Well, it's a good question, Kate, because we know that Al Ittihad don't want to let him go, which is part of the problem. We explained last week on the website that he was exploring all options, and really I think his favourite one was to leave Saudi Arabia and the Saudi League. He's just not happy there. It's not, even if he scored many goals, it's just not happening for him. He's just not happy there. But imagine the Saudi Pro League and PIF, which bankrolls the 4 biggest clubs that they have in their league. Benzema was obviously one of the marquee signing, if not the marquee signing in the summer. To let him go 6 months after he arrived would be a disgrace. They would certainly see it as a disgrace. So I don't think they will open the door. However, if he can make them open the door and can have that transfer that he really, really wants, then I think there are not many clubs. He can't go back to Real Madrid, so he would not go to another Spanish club. I think that's pretty clear. I think England is somewhere that he would like to go, but let's not forget that Karim is 36 years old, and I'm not sure if at that age, even for a 6-month stint at Manchester United or at Chelsea, would be keen. I would love to see him in the Premier League, of course. It's a league that has always appealed to him, to be fair, but I'm just not sure what kind of clubs would come for him. So then what you're left with Italy, going back home to Lyon. Maybe that's a possibility, but it's a really hard, I think, transfer to make for John Textor and them. They've just signed Gift Orban from Ghent. They have Lacazette, who's still there. But if you bring Benzema home, I think the fans will love you forever. So we can't rule this one out, but I still think that unless Al Ittihad opens the door, which is very unlikely, he won't be able to move.
You reap what you sow, don't you?
In terms of choosing to go there?
Absolutely, because you know, you go over there, they're trying to build something. We know the mentality that they have in Saudi Arabia. It's their way or the highway. And as Joe said, there's already murmurings from other players. We've just seen Jordan Henderson leave, but there are others who are voicing concerns about being unhappy. Nothing to do with me. But all I'm saying is if you want to leave Saudi Arabia, it's on their terms. And Karim Benzema will have to deal with that. They don't muck around. So you make the decision to go there, but you're going to have to toe the line, I'm afraid.
One player that does seem to know his next destination is Calvin Phillips, and it looks as though that destination is West Ham, Jules. We'll get a little word on that, but why haven't Newcastle come in for a player like this?
Well, when Newcastle coming for a player like who?
Like Calvin Phillips.
Oh, sorry. I just don't think they can. Financially, we've explained on the show already that they're under massive strain in terms of how much they spend before. They need to sell before anything else, really, before signing anyone, even a loan player with huge wages. Let's not forget, West Ham covered the whole wages of Calvin Phillips. There's nothing that City are going to pay for the next 6 months or for the rest of the season in terms of wages for Calvin Phillips, which is really rare. Usually when a player from a top club like a Man City player on huge wages, when he gets loaned out, they go 50-50, they go 60-40, they find a way, but the club that owns him still pay a subsequent amount of the wages. With West Ham, they pay everything, and I just don't think that Newcastle can pay everything right now. They're in under so much pressure financially to fit within all the rules in the Premier League and also in Europe that they just can't afford anybody unless they sell, and that's why I think Calvin Phillips was never really a possibility for them.
Okay, Hammer of the Year, Mayor of Newcastle. Where do you stand on this? What have you got to say about it, Shaka?
The move to West Ham makes an awful lot of sense. Ever since the departure of Declan Rice, I think West Ham have been crying out for that mould of a defensive midfielder. Listen, Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice has left very huge shoes for Calvin Phillips to try to fill. But when you see some of West Ham's performances, you do feel you need somebody who can cover that ground to at least allow some more attacking plays from midfield. Everything about West Ham's midfield has been just so defensive outside of Paqueta. And so he comes in and allows David Moyes to do a little bit more, to be a little bit more adventurous. So I think it's a step in the right direction. I understand, I sympathise. Newcastle, given their injuries, they could probably do with some strengthening, but finances as they are, as I've been saying all along, despite the worth of the ownership, they are going to do things slowly. They're going to respect the regulations, especially when you see what's happening elsewhere in the league. And they are thinking very much long term. So they decided a hands-off approach.
Good move for Phillips.
Well, really good. I think really good move for both player and club. A good player, one that's not been good enough, obviously, to break into this Man City side, but that's no shame when you look at who he's up against, Rodri, and then bringing in the experienced Mateo Kovacic. But Calvin Phillips was absolutely wasted there, so happy to see him go away, and he'll get game time at West Ham, and as long as he's fit enough, I think he'll improve West Ham, because he's a good player. And don't forget, even when he's not been playing at City, he's still been one of the first choices for Gareth Southgate for England, along with Declan Rice. So I think people know what his worth is, and yeah, be good for his career to get it kick-started again.